Imagine one day you wake up, grab your phone, and check your bank account like usual. But this time, something impossible happens. Your balance is not hundreds, not thousands, but billions of dollars. At first, you think it is a mistake, maybe a glitch from the bank, or maybe you are still dreaming. But then you look outside your window and every single person in your neighborhood is celebrating. Everyone is rich now. Your neighbor is rich, the cashier at the store is rich, your teacher is rich, the delivery driver is rich, and even people who used to sleep on the streets now have more money than they ever imagined. There are no poor people anymore, no beggars asking for help, no families starving because they cannot afford food. For the first time in human history, every person on Earth has become wealthy. It sounds like paradise, right? But then one scary question appears. If everyone is rich, who still wants to work? At first, the world would explode with happiness. People would rush to shopping malls, car dealerships, luxury restaurants, airports, and real estate offices. Everyone would buy expensive clothes, huge houses, fancy cars, and tickets to dream vacations. Airports would be packed, malls would be full, restaurants would have endless lines, and social media would be flooded with people showing their new rich lifestyle. For a short moment, it would feel like the whole world had finally won the game of life. But after the celebration, reality would slowly begin to hit. Money can buy things, but money does not magically create food, houses, electricity, clean water, or medicine. All of those things exist because people work every day to make them happen. Farmers grow the food, truck drivers deliver it, factory workers produce goods, cleaners keep cities alive, and doctors take care of the sick. But if all of them are already rich, many people would start asking the same thing. Why should I keep working? Then the first big problem begins. Cleaners quit their jobs, truck drivers leave their trucks, farmers stop going to the fields, cashiers stop coming to stores, and factory workers refuse to work long hours. At first, people would laugh and say, "It's fine, we are all rich now." But after only a few days, garbage would begin piling up on the streets, packages would stop arriving, supermarkets would start running out of food, and restaurants would close because nobody wants to serve anyone anymore. The world would realize something painful. Rich people still need workers. Then prices would start rising like crazy. Since everyone has money, everyone wants the same things at the same time. Everyone wants a luxury house, everyone wants the best car, everyone wants the best food, and everyone wants to travel around the world. But there are still only a limited number of houses, cars, plane seats, hotel rooms, and food supplies. So the price of everything would explode. A normal loaf of bread could become extremely expensive. A simple house could cost an insane amount, and a luxury car could become almost impossible to get. And this is where money starts losing its power. Because money only feels special when not everyone has the same amount of it. If everyone is rich, then being rich is no longer rare. It becomes normal. And when something becomes normal, it stops being powerful. In a world where every person has billions of dollars, money would no longer decide who is truly important. Something else would. Instead of money, the most valuable thing would become skill. People who can grow food, repair machines, build houses, run hospitals, create technology, and manage systems would become extremely powerful. A great doctor could become more valuable than a billionaire. A farmer could become more important than a celebrity. A person who knows how to fix electricity, water systems, or transportation could become one of the most respected people in society. Because in this world, the real rich people are not the ones with money. They are the ones who can keep civilization alive. Jobs that people used to disrespect would suddenly become extremely important. Garbage collectors, farmers, builders, plumbers, electricians, nurses, truck drivers, and factory workers would have massive bargaining power. If nobody wants to do hard or dirty jobs, society would have to pay them huge rewards just to keep the world running. A garbage collector might earn more than an office worker. A farmer might become more powerful than a banker. The world would finally understand that the jobs people ignore are often the jobs that stop society from collapsing. Businesses would also begin to panic. Companies need workers, but workers no longer need normal salaries. Stores would close, factories would stop producing, delivery services would fail, and many restaurants would disappear. The only companies that survive would be the ones that can use robots, machines, and artificial intelligence to replace missing workers. Because unlike humans, robots do not care about being rich. They do not need motivation, vacations, or luxury houses. They just work. This would push the world into a massive race for automation. Robots would clean streets, AI would manage businesses, machines would farm the land, and drones would deliver packages. At first, this might seem like the perfect solution. If humans do not want to work, let machines do everything. But even machines need maintenance, energy, materials, and people who understand how to control them. So even in a highly automated world, human skill would still matter. But here is the deeper question. If everyone is rich, does poverty truly disappear? Maybe poverty poverty disappears in the form of money, but it could return in a different form. Some people could become poor in access, poor in knowledge, poor in health, poor in safety, or poor in connections. Everyone might have money, but not everyone can get the best doctor, the best land, the safest city, or the most advanced technology. So the fight would no longer be about who has the most money, it would be about who has the best access. Still, this world would not be completely bad. If humanity handled it wisely, it could become one of the greatest moments in history. No child would be forced to quit school because their family is poor. No family would sleep on the streets because they cannot pay rent. No person would have to choose between buying food or getting medicine. Millions of people could finally study, create art, start businesses, research science, and chase their dreams without the fear of starving. But there is one condition. People would still need a reason to contribute, because a world where everyone has money but nobody wants responsibility would slowly fall apart. Freedom without purpose can turn into chaos. Wealth without contribution can become useless. The best version of this world would not be a world where everyone just relaxes forever. It would be a world where people work because they want to build something meaningful, not because they are desperate to survive. So, what if everyone in the world became rich and not a single poor person existed anymore? At first, it would feel like heaven, but soon, humanity would realize that money is not the only thing that keeps the world alive. Food, electricity, clean water, hospitals, transportation, internet, and safety all depend on work, skill, and cooperation. If everyone became rich but stopped working, society could collapse. But if everyone became rich and still chose to contribute, it could create the greatest civilization in human history. Because the perfect world is not just a world where everyone has money, it is a world where everyone has opportunity, dignity, and a reason to be useful. So here is the real question. If you became rich today, would you still work? Or would you disappear from society completely? Write your answer in the comments.